Our president is a believer. He loves his family and he loves this country with an unshakable faith in God.
President Trump and Vice President Pence.
He and Karen are doing an unbelievable job for our nation. Thank you, Mike.
Side by side, pushing forward their conservative agenda.
I couldn't be more honored to serve shoulder to shoulder with the most pro-life president in my lifetime.
But multiple new reports suggest Pence has an agenda of his own. The New York Times, Pence is trying to control Republican politics. Vanity Fair, insiders see a shadow campaign taking shape. And Politico, Trump puts Pence in corner. The coverage appears coordinated given the timing.
So I think this is more about leaking from people who are trying to score some cheap political points than there's actually any truth to any of it.
Mark Lauder, former special assistant to the president and press secretary to the vice president, calls all of the headlines nonsense.
The one thing I would tell you, and I've been affiliated with the campaign and the White House for nearly 2 years now, is that there is no greater champion of the president than the vice president. And there's also no daylight between them. They know exactly what each other is doing pretty much at all times.
Conservative columnist George Will sees something odd about the Trump-Pence relationship, and in the Washington Post wrote that Pence is selling out his conservative values to please the president. The title, the headline, Trump is no longer the worst person in government. What do you make of it?
It's sad and unfortunate.
Lauder says it's also untrue.
To use a comparison that I know would mean something probably to George Will, because he is a noted historian and writer on our national pastime of baseball. But the best players in the game miss 7 out of 10 times. And in this case, I think he swung at a pitch in the dirt and struck out.
Lauder points to the hiring of former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski as proof the president and vice president are on the same team. Lewandowski told CBN News, "It is an honor to join the Great American Committee, the VP's PAC. I look forward to working with the president and vice president's team to help Republicans increase their majorities in both the House and Senate." The vice president's office is also defending his active role in the overall political operation. Press Secretary Alyssa Farah gave this statement to CBN News that reads in part, "The vice president's political and fundraising travel advances the president's agenda by aiding targeted candidates and committees during the midterms, which is what the president asked us to do."
Mike loves his brother, who won by a very big margin.
With the midterms 6 months away, Lauder jokes the real rivalry is between the vice president and his brother, who's running in Indiana's 6th district.
Oh, they absolutely, they're brothers. They have a brotherly rivalry, and Greg Pence will be the first one, because many people often say that he looks like the vice president. He will remind you that he is older, so the vice president looks like him.
In Washington, Jenna Browder, CBN News.